What's up, YouTube? This is Jason with Yeti Gaming, and we're going to continue our German playthrough, Hearts of Iron 4, Waking the Tiger DLC. Where we left off, we are still fighting in China. Japan is pushing fairly well through China. They don't have a lot of victory points yet, so I bet if we capture a few more, come down the coast, they should capitulate. Shaanxi is almost wiped out. Communist China will get pushed into next by Japan, but we're over here on the coast helping them push down. Still building up our army. Next political power will probably finally increase manpower. It'll make training go a little bit slower, but production's almost where we want it, so we can double the production of light tank panzer divisions and the infantry divisions. So hopefully that can happen soon.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
The fight's going pretty well, if I do say so myself. Getting some nice experience all across the board. Alright, improved infantry equipment, so we can up our soft attack for infantry units as well as motorized mechanized cavalry. Where do we want to go next? Might do maintenance companies, but we're going to see what else there is. Let's see. 37, we're pretty good across the board. Yep. Maintenance company it is. Alright. We don't have a battle plan. Let's create one. Give them an objective. So this is new in the update, where your generals can get wounded. So our general, Rommel, put himself in a situation. It's a random chance, but he's going to be at a reduced capacity. Let's see how that affects. Wounded, there we go. Alright, leader skill bonus is minus 50%. Cannot use combat abilities. So if he had any, which he doesn't really, he does, the basic ones, we cannot use the combat abilities, and his skill bonuses are cut in half until he recovers. So we'll see how long it takes for him to recover. MEFO. Okay, and we got some defense and breakthrough bonuses. we are going. We're already doing naval. There it is. Keeping up pretty nicely with technologies. Alright, we are going to edit. I'm going to... I'm going to change and make the line smaller. Let Japan deal with that while we try to cut some of their army off here. See how that goes. Base strike, nice. So we have switched. We were trade interdiction, and we've now switched to base strike. And we're gonna go carrier primacy. Start getting our carriers some organization. We got new units. Again, we're gonna assign these to our placeholder for Rommel until he gets back. And I'm not even worried about putting him on the line. Guderian has enough forces that if we had an issue with Poland, he could hold the line while we reorganize his army. And he got, ooh, nice. Got our first carrier, guys. We got the Graf Zeppelin. Bring them into the main fleet. So we did build enough, almost enough. We were one airplane short. One naval bomber short of having a full carrier when it deployed. Pretty happy about that. Alright, so what's our production look like? Still getting 2.2 a year. The next one will be done in October, so we'll have 2 carriers by the end of 1938. And we got pretty good dockyards. What's our construction look like? We're gonna put in. We're gonna move some of these up. Because we're running serial productions, this one's going to tie up 15 factories for a while. So to kind of balance out what we're doing, I'm going to move some of these up so they would start getting produced. Because we are slightly... we're needing oil a little bit, but it's for... ships. It's for the convoys, and we have plenty of convoys right now. We're at 233. So I'm not too worried about the lack of oil reducing the speed. The lack of rubber, we'll get that taken care of. It's affecting tactical bombers right now, but when we are able to build a couple more of these, that rubber will take care of itself. Back to the fight. Let's see if we can cut some of these. They're starting to pull units back. Japan's pushing too hard here. Infantry are going to start getting kicked out. Let's wait till they all... 3 more. Wait a few more days. So if I was controlling the army, what I would have done is kept the units here and not pushed down like they did. While I pushed with the tanks and tried to encircle some of these units. We might catch some still. Depends on how fast we push into this. We gotta adjust the line again. Depends on how fast we can get to the coast. You did not edit it how I wanted you to. There we go. I want you to push like that. If we can capture this, which should happen any day now. There we go. Alright, we did manage to capture some. I'm not entirely sure how much, but any is better than none. So they do have a port, so they can get resupplied. I'm going to switch my tanks. We're just going to do that. Redraw it here. There we go. Let them reorganize. Let's see if Rommel. Are you still wounded? His skills, yeah. Oh, he is. So he's still wounded. Okay. We're going to keep putting the pressure on Yugoslavia. The fate of Czechoslovakia. Alright, so we get some choices here. Czechoslovakia surrendered. Basically, they didn't even surrender. France and England forced them to give up the Sudetenland, this outer crust of the nougat center of Czechoslovakia, was just given to us. We signed a peace in our time, is what it was called. It was a document saying that, oh, well, all we want is the Sudetenland. They have a good portion of German-speaking population, and we need to incorporate that within the greater Germany. And then Hitler went and he captured. He basically, without those forts that are in the Sudetenland, Czechoslovakia can't defend against us. So they're going to basically give us whatever we want. So we could take everything. It's going to cost 50 political power to do. MAFO bills are going to cost more daily political power. Or it's going to be less because we're using their gold. I see. So instead of 60, this one would drop it to 55. That's going to happen on all these decisions. We could partition, so we would get what we want, and Hungary would get the rest, which is the way I'm heading, because we're going to get Hungary's support at that point. Hungary's not a long-term objective for us. I don't really. I mean, they've got. What do we got? 13, 21, 35 factories, but we're going to let Hungary just be. We're going to see if we can't build Hungary up. Maybe they can take over Romania or something. I could just leave Slovakia as a puppet state, but it'd be a really weak puppet state. This way, I get stronger, and Hungary gets stronger, and Hungary's happy with me. That's the decision we're going to make. So, Czechoslovakia just got wiped from the map. France and Britain are going to start getting a little bit worried because we went against their peace. We said we weren't going to take any more land, and we went ahead and took more from a neutral country. So it's probably, we'll probably get maybe Memel here as the last piece before countries are going to start saying no to us. Let's see what's next. So this one will let us take Memel. Which will let us move down to Danziger War, but we're a little bit we're not ready to fight that yet, so we're gonna wait a little bit on going down this route. What we're gonna do is get this so we can start researching the medium tank, the Panzer III, so we can get a medium tank template going, and yeah, so we just built a new tank unit, and we have enough tanks for this new unit, but it's mostly composed of the Panzerkampfwagen 1, the Panzer 1s, which are 1934 design. So it's not even it doesn't have enough Panzer IIs. It's not even half of Panzer IIs. So it's a really outdated design. Don't really have enough to bump that up. So after some of our current construction finishes, we're going to build some more military factories, because we're only at 50 right now. So start bumping up military factories so we can start actually producing a fair number. Support equipment, so we're running low on support equipment still. Yep. Making almost 9 a day, but we're probably using up looks like we don't have enough. We'll work on that too. And motorized, we're undermanned on motorized as well, so we're build some military factories, get this production up so we can stay positive and get surplus. Alright. Alright, let's push. Waiting for the fate of Czechoslovakia. Czechs must be protected from themselves, which is the excuse we used to take that land. Alright, we're going to execute. We get the effects from Yugoslavian air purchase, so we let them. We gave them some planes. We got some reduced consumer goods, and now that's returned back to us. So we got free military factories. So let's bump up. Oh yeah, we got all the factories. So we jumped up 8 military factories and 7 civilian factories from annexing Czechoslovakia. The bump up sport equipment, we're going to bump up motorized. Nice, we're at 106 stockpiled. Oh, what to do? What to tanks? Yep, the last one's going to be tanks. Start producing the light tank 2s. With the increases that we did to motorized and light tanks, now our oil demand has gone up, and it's starting to affect airplane. Oh, that's rubber. So rubber and oil. Rubber's affecting airplanes. Oil's still just the convoys. So we're going to leave that for now. But we do need rubber, so let's see if we can trade anyone for rubber. So we're taking Siams. Probably going to just trade with Dutch East Indies. They don't have a whole lot, so we're not really worried about giving them one extra factory compared to giving it to the British or the French, and nobody else has enough to meet a full civilian factory worth of demand, so it's the best option for us right now. We're going to send that request. We can modify the government. I don't know. I think we're just going to go with a ship designer. This again, when you pick a designer, whether it's a tank, ship, airplane, or aircraft designer, it doesn't get these benefits until you research a new model. 1939 hits. We can research a new carrier. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. Getting distracted. I wanted to increase, because we're kind of running a little bit low on manpower. Lower than I want to be. So we're going to go from limited conscription, 2.5% of the population being recruitable, to extensive. So it doubles the recruitable population, but it does increase training time. That's why we wanted to wait a little bit, but we're going to do that now, and that's going to trickle in over time. It's not going to show up. It used to show up immediately. You get an immediate boost, and now it trickles in over time. Monthly growth, if you see that there, recruitable 2.4 thousand. So you'll see that number start to grow. Let's see if we can take this from the execute that. There we go. Now we're attacking. Now we're moving.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Got the planes in our reserve. And we'll worry about that later when we are prepping for war. So we're now at 12 oil. That is still all convoys. We do have enough. I want to start producing light cruisers. 5. We're going to cut you back down. Okay. push you up to 22 destroyers. Moving right along. Moving right along. And you can see now Japan's really pushing China back hard. They don't really have enough divisions anymore to cover the entire front. So I don't expect China to last more than a month or two. We just took out that group we had cut off. I don't know how big it actually was. Are we at war with these guys? Or not us. We're not at war. Fighting defensive war against Japan. I was hoping I could cut through here, and maybe I still could, and get try to pull that same maneuver again, cut off some cut off part of their army. We'll make another push right down this way. We'll probably go straight for the port. Can we not do? Oh, probably because that. Okay. No. That was a mistake. Come here and then you'll move by yourself. I want you to form. There. We'll push for that, and then we'll come down and push to the coast. Let's see. The problem is now we're moving outside of what our airplanes can cover. You see our radius right there. So I'm interested to see what they do. Execute. We've got too much in one province. We're getting attrition. Because this is hills, and it doesn't have very high infrastructure. So not enough supplies are getting through. It can't really sustain. We're going to have to spread out our front line. Hopefully it's not an issue once we actually move. Right now we're just supporting. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. I hope I don't have a cold going on. That's kind of what it feels like, though. You see, now we went from 600,000 to 1 million. We're getting a sizable chunk. We got free civilian factories. Alright. So we're up to 77 civilian factories. We still have not lost any to consumer goods, which is it's good. We're just losing to trade. So, trading away 10 factories in trade. So we have, what's our total? Trading away 10 is at 87. Anyway. We're going to build some military factories. We need to get that military production up. It's going to mean have to build some synthetic refineries along with it. You can see our synthetic refineries provide 3 oil and 2 rubber. That's from the 1 upgrade we've put into increased oil production so far. But because of our economic laws, we're going to really cut that in half. So if we build 2 refineries, we get what you see here. 3 oil and 2 rubber. That will keep us going for a little while. We got MEFO bills. Keep those going so we don't get the consumer good factories. So we can keep our civilian factory production going. We really need to get out of here so we can cut our attrition, but at least communist delegates are meeting around the world. Crazy stuff is happening. Yeah. When Stalin purged his officers, it was for Trotskyism. And as the support for that is growing, he's trying to stamp it out within Russia to consolidate his leadership. So Russia's still relatively weak. They may have recovered a little bit from the initial officer purge, but oh, those poor Japan troops, they pushed down too. Alright, so the next research we get. Alright, France and Britain have announced alliance. This is probably in retaliation against me taking Czechoslovakia. So they've now formed, not only do they have an alliance, but they have formed the Allies as a faction. It was expected. It literally wasn't something we could prevent. Still too early. We're going to wait. We're going to do army innovations. We're probably going to do air innovations. And then we'll start, we'll reassert our claims and then see where we're at. There's a roadmap going forward. I want to get as much land doctrine in place as possible. We're going to start our where's that in place now? How come I don't see my bonus? I should have looked at it beforehand. I'm going to wait a day and see if it resets and shows showing 181 days now. See if that goes down here in a minute. Still oil. It's going to be our ships. We added the light cruisers. We have enough oil for light cruisers. Convoys are getting on oil now, so we've gotten a few more refineries. Getting oil for our units, but we're building more military factories, and those are going to go into tanks and motorized and sport equipment, and so it's going to cut down. We're going to have to keep building refineries. Alright, I need to edit this line. It's way too big now. It's not what I'm going for. Sometimes the micromanagement is irritating. I wish I could just say, I want you to keep a offensive line of 2 provinces at all times. Because I don't have the army to support 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 provinces. I've only got 4 units. So sometimes it can get irritating. Let's just sweep down. That one. Edit this one. Sweep it like that. Move to assign because it had the other order still going. And our air is completely out of range. And there are no airports anywhere near us. So we're now outside of our air cover. But they're still flying interception missions, so it's still getting air experience. It's just they're not doing any ground missions. Soviets accept German. Okay, this is what we were waiting for. They had to accept our research agreement. They have. Announced this Treaty of Trianon. More countries are turning over the reshaping of Europe that happened after World War I. Speech, the king already hinted that Hungary may soon look toward free from the colonial territories taken up 2 decades ago. So they've also shrugged off the yoke of Versailles, as it's calling it here. Good for them. Alright, we're going to wait for these guys to get in place, execute. I'm going to hope to punch through here. And maybe capture a couple units. Help out Japan. Okay, it's done it again. It's really irritating. That's not at all what I wanted you to do. I want you to do an offensive line, and I want it here. Stop that. You won't do. What's going on here? Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll just assign. It looks like Rommel has recovered from his wounding, so it took, I want to say it happened in April, so it took about 4 months for him to recover. You'll have to figure out what you want to do about it, whether you want to replace your general with somebody that is going to allow skills and things to be used if you want to activate those. Battle, whatever they're called. The battle modifiers. Alright, we're going to add, so we got light cruisers, we're going to add a heavy cruiser too. Wow, we're probably really low on oil now. Yup. Still fall 1938, but we now see this ahead of time penalty be reduced by 100%. So 136 days instead of 181. We're going for it. Alright, let's see what happens here. Maybe it's just because there's drawing it again. That's really weird. What if I spearhead? No. It's like... Let's draw out the... What?
Los, los, los!
Can you draw an offensive line? No. Can you edit your front line? We went too far. There we go. Now let's try an offensive line. What the heck, man? I don't understand what's going on right now. It's redrawn everything. This is irritating. I apologize for my lack of army management here. I don't know why it's not letting me do... I don't know why it's not executing my orders. And as Japan pushes weirdly, it's redrawing everything. Shaanxi has pushed back a little bit. Let's get out of edit mode. Communist China going through Shaanxi have pushed back a little bit up here in the north. And China still has not capitulated, so because I'm not at war with them, I don't know how to check and see how close that is. I don't know why I can't draw an offensive line, but it's irritating. We'll just have to do it manually like that, and we've caught 3 divisions. Nice. There it goes. Still not. This is weird. I wonder if it's because we're on the border of 2 countries. Let's see what it does. Units are shifting around. Take this last province, redraw the map a little bit, and see what happens here as Japan pushes in. Almost tempted to come back up here to the middle and push to Shangqin. Can I draw an offensive line now? No. About up here. Man, they're so picky about this. Alright, let's do this. Let's redraw the front lines. Focus. Like that. Oh, still it's not. Alright, let me do this. I'm just going to delete it altogether and we'll redraw it. And it redrew it everywhere. Oh my gosh. Someday we'll learn how to do stuff again. It looks like I really can't go. Maybe it's because I'm down here. Okay, let's do this. Let's remove that. Let's draw a front line just against China. Let's push, just like we said, we're going to push along the river here to the north. So I want to line up like this. I want to draw an offensive line. Let's push to here. We're going to edit it.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Why can't I grab it? Yeah, we'll see how that does. We'll let China, or we'll let Japan control and keep pushing in the south. We're going to push in the middle. Try to get, alright, more military factories. Up to 60 now. Coming along pretty good. What do we have stockpiled? Alright, we've got 115,000 stockpiled. Two more there. One more there. Two more there. That'll be pretty good. 3 dockyards. Put like that. Nope. What do we got here? Just units to throw in. 24. He's almost his own army. We will take a couple units out, but really it's mostly infantry. There's no tanks or anything here, so oh yay, we got another carrier. We now have 2 carriers, and you're full, and you're full. 2 full carriers with all of the fighters and bombers they need. Nice. And it's not even 1939 yet. Peter Strasser. When's the next one get built? April. So I have one done in April and one done again in October. October 1939, we will have 4 carriers. What are we doing on carrier fighters, carrier bombers? Yeah. About what we could expect. I was still hurting for oil. It's affecting the heavy cruisers and the convoys. So, how are we doing on factories? Getting some military, we'll get some more refineries. Let's just see where that goes. Hurting a little bit of my naval production by not having enough oil, but at the same time we can build synthetic refineries with civilian factories, and if we don't have civilian factories, if we give them up for trade, then we can't build things as fast. And you might say that, oh, well, one factory, what does it matter? Well, one factory becomes 2, becomes 5, becomes, I mean, this is going to take 2 factories. It's about to hit 3 factories. It starts to add up. Alright. The last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to get military police, so that will complete our 1936 support units. And in 5 days we'll have armored spearhead. In 9 days we'll have the research bonuses. So we probably won't allocate this one to a new. We'll wait until this one hits because that's 11 days. So we'll find something to research in 5 days. Rommel and his army is still getting in place. There it is. So again, we're going to hold off because it's 261 days. Well, in 6 days, that's going to get cut in half. So we should see him 130 days. What's the research time on the next carrier class? Oh, wow. 1940 is the next? Oh, okay. As I was. So we're good on that. 1940 for planes too, so ships and planes. We have another year before we have to worry about it. We got computing device. Let's get encryption. That's what we'll work towards. That way the enemy won't be able to see what we, what units we have, what focus we're working towards. It'll hide a bunch of game fine, whatever. It'll make it harder for them to tell what's going on internally. Alright, we're going to activate that. Hopefully they start pushing. There's the Army Innovations 2. Still, it's November. I'm going to hold on to off on reasserting. I'm going to do one more. I'm going to do Air Innovations. And that'll give us some Air Doctrine research bonuses when it completes. Obviously, this one doesn't have it yet. And we're going to hold off until that's done. What we can do now is 111 days, so it was 261 and now it's 111. So Philippines, again, we're going to keep it going, spending political power gain to not have to repay these consumer good factories. Our stability is doing really well. Still 60%, so we still have the same, but factory output, dockyard output, consumer good factories, reduction, political power gain. But really it's the factory and dockyard outputs that is the best benefit from that. Our airplanes are still there because there's Eastern China doesn't have any airfields, as you can see, so there's nowhere for these to really be based, which is good and bad. Good because that means the Chinese planes aren't based anywhere. It's bad because we can't get that air support. So if I was Japan, I would start building an air base somewhere over here, maybe at Hubei, somewhere, so my airplanes could support my troops. But we still have enemy planes here. China still has, oh right, carrier primacy. We're gonna keep it going. Well, we have maxed out this army. We're gonna split off the infantry to a new unit. Just all infantry. We're going to assign him an actual commander. He's going to be a... what do we want? A cavalry. You're reckless. And a commando, so you'll fight out of supply. There's no... you're an infantry. I guess you're an infantry officer. We'll go with Erwin von Witzleben for a complete infantry army. Oops, you weren't supposed to have motorized, but we'll fix that. There you go. Full infantry, 21. We're gonna give you I'm not going to do anything with him yet, but what I'm going to do is when Rommel comes back, Rommel will get the north. Witzleben will get the middle, and Guderian will get the south. And Guderian and Rommel will push towards each other. Kind of do as a left or a right hook here and a left hook here towards Warsaw, and try to just surround whatever Poland has here in the middle, and then kind of push them back with the infantry. Some of this infantry will go to Rommel, just so he's got enough infantry to hold the spearhead. That way we can keep the supply lines open, so he doesn't get cut off. Yeah. Oh, how are we looking here? 17 oil, and it's hopefully it is all in ships. We got military factories up to 62, and it's starting to shift oil up higher. We're starting to build some more refineries. That's going to get finished here soon. We're going to build a couple more refineries. And some more military factories. I don't know if you saw, but our dockyards are maxed out now, so... we have for dockyards 47 naval dockyards. I think we're going to do pretty well in a naval battle against Britain. Curious, am I actually building regular naval bombers? I'm not. Oh, I always forget to add these guys in. We're gonna need more rubber. Yeah, we're at 6 rubber. I have enough rubber for that. But basically, we've got some naval bombers here, not the carrier ones. Let me zoom in. We've got naval bombers here. They are going to help support. We'll fly them down to a base closer to the English Channel, and they'll just help support. There'll be extra support for our ships, just so we can hopefully survive a little bit better. Anything helps. Alright, pushing in towards the current capital, Chongqing of China, hoping to get them to capitulate. Hoping to stretch out the battle lines so that Japan can overwhelm.
Befehle!
There's another tank unit. And now that we've just finished one, what are we looking at? We're still... not enough tanks. We don't have enough tank production to cover 2 units running at once. And we definitely don't have enough motorized. So, got to get tank and motorized up more. Working on it. Support equipment. How are we looking for support equipment? Getting down there. Motorized support equipment. Light tank now that we have built some. Losing 30 a day. But I think that's going to the fact that we just built a tank unit. So in a couple days we'll look again, see if that 30 is still a thing. Anyway, I'm gonna break off here, guys. Take a little break and we'll come back here in a little bit. We almost have enough air experience to work on our carrier fighters. We upgraded our normal BF-109, so now we need to upgrade the carrier fighters so they can protect our ships. Anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying the playthrough and explanations that I've been given. Please let me know, is it too much, is it too little, do I need to expand on anything I've already covered? Any feedback is appreciated, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks.